Hello, fellow duelists and collectors. Custom Playmats back at you with another deck profile. Today's deck profile is going to be an XYZ deck profile, as you saw in the description. I'll jump right into it. First, we do Go 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 Giant. I would highly recommend running 3 of these because its effect is so good and it has good attack. So if you were building an XYZ deck that was for fun, definitely want primarily 3 of these, for ideally, you know. 2 Go 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 Golem. Again, if you're running 3 Go 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 Giant, you want 3 Go 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 Golem because they build off of each other. He works to bring him back and make it possible to XYZ. And also, this Golem just has a good effect, so that's definitely good to have. Trident Warrior, just because it has a good effect. It's not necessarily like essential, but it is a good card to have, definitely, especially for an extra. 2 Gaga Magician. It's a good effect. You can choose the level, so I see that as a plus. I don't think you really need more than 2. You could definitely run 3, but it all depends on what kind of style play you're trying to do. I think 3 might make it a little too slow, but again, it's all up to you. Definitely 3 Goblinberg, because that is one of the quickest and easiest ways to XYZ summon. So letting you special summon a level 4 lore monster from your hand is super helpful. Turret Warrior, because this deck uses a lot of warriors, as you can see, both warriors, and so it's good to have him because he, again, is a special summon, so it's easy to get him on the field while still being able to normal summon later. And he works well for building an attack power monster, especially if you use like an XYZ monster with a high attack like 2800 that brings him up to 4000 attack. It could be really good. 3 Marauding Captain. Again, like Goblinberg, it lets you, it lets you bring out another monster from your hand, but also with the added effect that if you have, let's say, 2 of these on the field, you created a defense barrier where your opponent can't even attack, so that's definitely a good card to have. 2 Kage, because it's a good card, get a summon out, definitely helpful. 1 XYZ Agent. I mean, you don't really need to say much. It is an XYZ agent. It's a good card to have, though. 1 Summoner Monk, especially because it's another one of the fastest XYZ summons possible, as long as you have a spell in your hand. A Feedback Warrior. He's kind of like a filler card fodder. I would replace him with Go 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 Giant for sure. Shine Knight. He's fairly good. He can, is level 4 at times in defense position, so that can be good, especially if you summon him with like Goblinberg, or he's malleable, so if you use Marauding Captain with him, you bring him out in attack, he's a 3-star, Goblinberg, bring him in defense, he's a 4-star, or if you summon him in defense another way. Mimic's pretty good, your opponent controls a monster, you control level 3, you can special summon it. So yeah, essentially if you have a level 3, special summon him, which just gives you almost an instant XYZ summon. Curry Vault. Ooh, Apprentice Piper is definitely a good card. It's actually better in a lot of decks because it's got 2 special summons you can get from it. The initial flip and its destruction, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, when it's sent to the grave. Okay, and then 3 Go 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 Aristera and Dexia. Sorry. But this is good to have another Go 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 in the deck to summon, and it's got the secondary effect. When it's XYZ summoned, when you use this and another Go Go Go, the XYZ summon can target a face attack position monster your opponent controls and change it to defense position, and if you do, change its defense to 0. So that can be really helpful. Situationally, of course. And then 1 XYZ Reborn. I mean, you could definitely run more than 1. I would actually recommend running 2 to 3, but it's a good card to have, especially for the XYZ. 1 XYZ Veil. I have a bunch of these, but again, I don't think you need more than 1. It's not as good of a top decking card. It's good overall, but not highly recommended, 2 XYZ Effect. Definitely good to have for the destruction and super helpful. Wonder XYZ, pretty darn good. And I sort of actually have the trap cards structured in a way, like from here on out, where I put the best ones first, and then the one, as they get further in, they are less recommended by me. So Wonder XYZ, XYZ Extreme. Ixie's Soul, Ixie's Revenge Shuffle. Call of the Haunted actually can be very helpful, or you could, you know, switch it out for Monster Reborn. Yeah, Monster Reborn, or Limit Reverse even works pretty well in this, since a lot of monsters have less than 1,000. But essentially, this would be substituted primarily for like Ixie's Reborn. So, but again, Call of the Haunted's more malleable, so it's really your choice. 2, rank up Magic Baron's Force, because it's, you know, I mean, you need it to summon the Chaos Ixies. And I only run the Utopia Chaos Ixies in this, I'm fairly certain about that. 2, Star Change, definitely helpful since it's a quick play 2 for certain things that could either help you or hinder your opponent. 1, Ixie's Energy, good card to have. Omnigami combo, the Onigami combo. It's good, but again, it's more of just a helpful in certain situations type of card. Like if you have a really strong Ixies on the field, which isn't too often, I would say it's most likely to be used for Utopia Ray. But Rhoda for the you know, adding any warrior and reducing the card number to 39, and then Hammer Shot just for opponent destruction. Hammer Shot's really not necessary, but definitely can be helpful since a lot of monsters in this deck are weaker and your opponents are bound to be generally stronger. And then we have a Utopia Ray Victory along with Utopia Ray and Utopia, of course, the Utopia Trio. And then you have Night Papilloperative. A Gem Knight as a staple just because he's got a good attack. Illuminite, number 10. It can be pretty good. Black Ship of Corn, definitely from a staple back in the day, super good, and still, I think, a good card to have. Zubaba General, especially because there's a lot of warriors in this, and that helps his effect tremendously. Grenosaurus, which I would actually replace with Acid Golem, because Acid Golem's a hell of a lot better, but he is still good. Leviathan, again, another attack power, pretty decent monster. Giga Brilliant, again for the boost. The Percussion Djinn, Tempo, he's pretty good. Terabyte. Apparently this is like the alternate artwork or something, and there's another one out there that is either the original or just different, I guess. Rebarian Shark, number 71. And then number 56, Gold Rat. And that is the Ixie's deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was at least entertaining and can be a useful reference for playing for fun with your friends. And if you liked it, please give me a like. And if you want to subscribe, I'll be uploading more like these. Thank you.